semis are Friday and Saturday night.
Can't be here. We got Mitch with the Pennywise 2.6 turbo. There's a clown loose in Florida.
Got started a little late this afternoon because of a little bit of rain and supposed to get started. Tomorrow we'll go nice and easy. We got everything going, everybody in place. Appreciate you guys coming out spending your Friday evening with us. Let's watch Mark Boyer and Mr. Twister. Looking at that distance of 3:39.71, put down by Don Dean and Plumber's Night there.
Yeah!
354.95.
Woo!
36
Woo!
miles per hour. That'll wrap up our long racing class.
1 o'clock, 6 o'clock, Saturday, February 4th, Zellwood.
Welcome, everybody. It's time to start talking Zellwood Super Pull. My name is Jason Schultz with the Beer Money Pulling Team, joined by John and Brandon AC. They are part of the Zellwood Super Pull, and Mark Boyer. So, Mark, that was your video there on Mr. Twister. We had to play there at the end. I wanted to show that video because I wanted everybody to know that Zellwood has a track that, did you see a 3-engine modified pick its tires up at the first, now, and was gone? So for all the haters that said Zellwood doesn't have a good track or it's too sandy, we dug it last year and we put some moisture into it. And Mark right there can tell you it can handle 3 engines. So in case you're thinking, I don't want to go to Zellwood because I went down there a couple years ago and the track was really, really hard on top. And it was really, really hard on top a couple years ago. But we fixed it. And that guy right there with 3 engines making about, 8,000-9,000 horsepower, he can say they can handle that. So unless you're running 12,000 horsepower like Brett Berg or Uncle Sam, we probably can make a track for you there. So I have to get that out there right away because I'm very, very proud that we dug that damn track and got some water in it and it took some horsepower. Because Mark, that was me screaming, woo, because I was so freaking happy because all night long I waited for you to get took to that sled because I got sick of hearing all the blah, 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 blah. That track in Zellwood sucks. That track in Zellwood sucks. It's too hard. But no, so I had to just say that. I'm sorry, but I had to say it. I'm just happy as hell. So, welcome,
that night it put the horsepower down and went. That was a lot of fun.
Yeah. No, just when I saw your front end come off the ground and you carried it as a tractor puller, I know that's a good sign. A real loose track, you're not going to get your front end up. You're not going to be able to carry it down the track like that. So it made me happy. Made me happy. Well, Mark, tell me a little bit about who you are, where you're from, the tractor, and then we'll dive into John and Brandon a little bit.
Well, my background is I'm in partners with Scott Tedder and Mr. Twister. I've been around pulling for a long time, but just at this level for a couple years. Matter of fact, 2 years ago, I made my very first pass on Mr. Twister at Zellwood. That's the first time I had ever driven the tractor. So that'll kind of always be a special place to me. So I run for years back. I ran a classic modified small block 3010. And I had the opportunity to take that and pull that around Florida. And as well as later on, I built or bought and finished a single engine modified I ran with the Indiana Pulling League. Still have that tractor. And then Scott was interested in working with me with Twister, and I jumped at that chance. And so here we are.
Where did you pull your John Deere, your 3010, your classic mod at?
I've been, it primarily ran with Darke County, Ohio, and then Central Ohio tractor pullers. But down in Florida, I ran at Inverness, Ocala, and Flywheelers.
I've seen that class that Clint Tucker has that class at his Midwest Winter Nationals, and I've met Ben Holthouse and that whole gang of guys, and then who's the two guys with the John Deeres, the father and the son with the John Deeres that run really hard. One of them's a 730 sheet metal.
Yes. Yeah.
Crap, what's her name?
The Bandits, the tractor.
Yes. Yeah, I can't for the life of me. I can't think of their name. We talk to everybody every week, and I kind of starting to forget. It's all getting blurred together, guys. It's hard to keep up with all of it. So.
Yeah, I bet. I ran that tractor at the Midwest Winter National several years back, both in Illinois and up at Ship.
Yep. Oh, you've been to the Great Gordyville.
I have been to the Great Gordyville. Yes.
Yep. Did you know there's a bar? Did you know there's a bar next door to the Gordyville pole track there, Mark?
I did not.
It's connected. I went over and did a bunch of shots of Fireball on the Saturday afternoon session, and I wasn't real capable of announcing Saturday night, so they took my batteries out of my microphone and told me to go look for them. So that's a good 10 years ago, but it's still a good Jason Schultz story.
Yeah, that happened. I believe I was there 10 years ago, actually.
Yeah, it was probably me zooming around there trying to pretend. So got a lot of people checking in. Sebastian, Florida, Palm Bay, Florida. Russ Dostal's checking in from Pierce, Nebraska. I got to get Russ down to Zellwood with me. Nicholas McCoon says we need more polls in Zellwood. Man, how many you guys have polls every month, don't you, John?
Yep.
I don't know if we could do much more than that, John and Brandon. We'll have to check in on that. So big poll at Weekland's Mechanic Shop in Chest Springs, Pennsylvania tomorrow and Saturday. Thank you, Todd. They need to have it in the daytime so it isn't so cold. Last year was cold, but that's the first year it's been cold like that, John, in my recent memory.
Year before that was cold too, but it was colder the year before than what it was last year.
Okay. Mike Back says can't wait. Great track. Brooke's got his Ford tractor. I think it's a Hot Farm.
Yep.
So, Brooke, are you going to be at North Carolina State Fair? I fly out tomorrow. I'm helping announce out there this weekend to Raleigh. Todd's checking in from Central City, Pennsylvania. All right, cool. So I caught up with the comments there. It's all good. So again, welcome to special edition of the Let's Grow Polling podcast. John and I will be doing these weekly, or we're going to try doing weekly. We'll see from now up until the Zellwood Super Bowl, January 12th through 13th. Mark Fourier, driver of the Mr. Twister multi-engine modified, joining us, and of course Brandon AC as well. And tonight's kind of the kickoff for the Zellwood Super Bowl to get it in your brains. Start talking, requesting some sponsorship. I know. Is it Eaton Compressor that stepped up, John?
Yeah.
And what are they donating?
They donated 2 compressors for us to raffle off. We're going to raffle off one Friday night and one Saturday night.
Awesome.
I texted you a picture of them. I don't know if you can pull it up or not.
If you keep talking, give me like 30 seconds. I'll make that happen. So
we've been trying to work on some new sponsors, trying to get a little bit more. Like everything else, it's kind of hard this year.
Yep.
But we're trying. We've put some new lights on the track. We're getting ready to start working on tying them all in. Hopefully it'll have that track lit up good this year. Just all kinds of different things that we've been doing this year for getting ready for the Super Bowl already.
Mark, what do you do? What do you enjoy about coming down to Zellwood and pulling?
Well, I love winter tractor pulling, and the reason is I'm a farmer, and I own and operate 2 ag-based businesses, and I'm also a career firefighter. And the summers are it's a struggle to get to a pull. And then when I'm at a pull, I'm always worried about the dumpster fire. That's the what's going on at home when I'm not there. So I always can make some time in the winter when things slow down. And I just really enjoy wintertime tractor pulling, and I enjoy coming to Florida and pull. And last couple of years it's been a little cold down there, but I tell you what, it was a lot warmer there than it was in north central Indiana.
Yep, that is for sure. That is for sure. Now that's a picture of the compressor. You have two of those, one for Friday. What's the plan, John?
We're going to do raffle tickets on those.
Okay.
We haven't exactly came up with how we're going to do it, but we're going to do raffle on Friday night and raffle one off, and then we're going to do one off Saturday and raffle it off again. Again, Rob Rasnick worked on that one, got Matt Kane to donate us a couple compressors for meat and air compressors. Hopefully next year he'll be a little bit bigger sponsor when we can work on him some more and get him down here.
No, I think if we can let some of the sponsors in the Midwest know that kind of, sponsor summer pulling, that there's they can still get their name out down here in Florida as well. I think we can really build that sponsor base and really support it, get the purses up down here in Florida as well. That'll be good stuff. The heater just kicked on. It's cold in Wisconsin today, guys, so I apologize for that. So I'm going to put my picture back up there. The one thing I really want to stress is so 2020 during COVID, that was the biggest super pull ever. Anybody who had a pull during COVID had their biggest crowd they ever had, right? And that happened for Zellwood. But then the track was really hard, and we're going to call it like it is. And a lot of the mini rod guys had a tough time because they spin the tires so fast. And then so I think Zellwood kind of got labeled a little bit for having a crappy track for big horsepower stuff. And we did fix that. See that grader right there? We dug that thing down deep, and we got a lot of moisture into it. And again, I opened up the show showing that video of Mark with Mr. Twister with the 3-engine mod picking up the front end and rocking and rolling. So please put Zellwood back on your – if you were one of those mini rod pullers or one of those high horsepower pulling vehicles that maybe – I'm never going to Zellwood again, because that is the elephant in the room, and I just want to address it, that track sucks. It does not suck, okay? It does not suck. It'll handle it all. And having Mark Boyer on here, the driver of a 3-engine modified, and having proof of the video, I don't know what else we need to say there. And I really, really want to stress that for everybody, that John and the team took that to heart, and they said, what can we do to build, it is a sandier track. It's freaking Florida. They understand that. But we did what we could with it, and I was really happy with how it turned out last year. So that's the last time I'm going to mention that, but I really, really, really want to stress that for anybody that wants to come down to Florida. Because did you say there's 5 weeks of pulling in a row this year, way it's lining up, right, John?
Yes, the way it's lining up right now, there's 5 weekends in a row. Now, Flywheelers doesn't pull a lot of the modified stuff, so I'm not sure what all they'll have down there. But at least there's 4 good weekends of everybody being able to pull.
Yep. Somebody says, nice deer in the back there, Mark. I like that. It's a good comment. So
Thank you.
Nicholas McCoon, are we able to have more things for the kids to do? A lot of families bring kids. I hear a lot of people say we'd like more things for kids to do, have fun while racing going. Nicholas, tell us what you'd like to have done. You guys had the RC pullers there last year, right? Yeah. I feel like you had a pedal pull. Didn't you have a bounce house too? Didn't the Marines bring a bounce house or something?
Mm-hmm.
No.
No. I was actually got a message today. Somebody wanting us to see about doing the Power Wheels pulls.
Okay.
So I got to talk to everybody about it, see what they think.
Yep. Do you have a group down there that has a sled that can handle those, John?
I have no idea. I'm gonna get with the guy more and find out if he knows of anything.
Colby Hall's watching from a deer stand in Georgia. We had Colby on the show last year. That's a good time. That makes Mark happy. So.
Colby sold his truck.
He did?
Yeah, he's wanting to move up to his dad's class.
Okay.
So he sold his truck. He's building another one, I guess.
Nice. There, I got the heater to turn off, guys. That was loud. I apologize for that. So, again, if you're just joining us, we're doing a special edition of the Let's Grill Pulling podcast with John and Brandon AC from the Zellwood Super Pull. Our special guest tonight, Mark Boyer, driver of Mr. Twister 3-engine, multi-engine modified tractor. Comes to Zellwood every year and supports it. I got to see Donnie Dean, Mark, in Hillsdale, Michigan, a couple of Friday nights ago. I bought a diesel super stock tractor. I bought Mike Beck's high-tech redneck. I was building a diesel super. Had chassis coming this winter. I bumped into Mike at the Enderley. We started talking, and we put a deal together so I could purchase the high-tech redneck. And my dream, my whole life, you guys, is for my dad to drive my tractor at Louisville, the farm show. And I called down and talked to one of the members of the farm show, and they said, there's no way in hell we're going to stick your dad on a tractor he's never even sat on before. So please let him get outside at least once to make a pass. So we accomplished that up in Hillsdale. And I saw Joe Stocks had both their mods up there, Mark, and then Don Dean did. And then Heilman's, they always come down. Is it the, oh, shoot. They always come down and pull in Zellwood as well. What's the name of their tractor?
Feeling Froggy and Night Train.
Yep.
And I saw those. I think I saw Night Train at the Enderley as well in the regional class.
Yeah,
I'm pretty sure. Did they hook? Yeah, they hooked against Feis's, I know, because we were doing some interviews down there at the end of the track. So big name pullers fans, for you Florida truck and tractor pulling fans, big name pullers come out of the Midwest and the East and come down and hook in Zellwood, Florida again, January 12th and 13th.
Don Dean is just a legend in the sport. I love that guy. He is just absolutely amazing. He is the real deal. And I can't say enough good things about Don Dean. And on top of all of that, he's just a great guy. He's a genius and just a super nice guy.
Yes, he is. He's fun to talk to. I got to talk to him at the Enderley a little bit. I showed him how to download the full pull app, Mark. That was fun. So he could make his picks. So that was kind of fun getting Donnie to do that. Yeah. Nicholas, those are great ideas. The power wheels, bounce house, face painting. Help us get some sponsorship, Nick, to do all that. Nothing's free. You could help us put some of that stuff together. That'd be amazing. Or if you're a local company and you want to help us out with some face painting and some bounce house, anything like that for the kids, we have lots of room. I mean, we could do some stuff there behind the announcer stand. John and Rob can figure out a way to do that and pull it all off there. Mr. Waller just joined us there. So how are you, Rob?
I'm doing great, man. How y'all?
Good to see you. So
that's great to see you.
Yep. They may bring you in, talk about power wheels pulling. Yeah. That's pretty. I've seen that up here a couple times, guys, up here in the Midwest and Wisconsin. There's some YouTube videos, Brandon, if you want to dig into that a little bit. You can kind of see it. It's nothing. I don't know if they use a pedal tractor sled or what they use, but those power wheels are pretty fun. The kids dig those. So they dig those.
Yeah, I had a guy message today about doing it.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
JC and Lori here in Plant City are watching. Hello, guys. Well, hello, Jay Kent. Colby Hall says, Brandon AC, do you still like waffles? Uh-oh. We're going to have to get into that a little bit. Brandon, what's he talking about there?
We won't go into
that one.
Okay, it's a kid show still. It's not after 9. Rob, of course. Rob's into the beer already. How about booby painting? Of course, Rob would say that. I could fire up the airbrush. Mike Back says, I think Rob Resnick does snake painting or does face painting for free. See, this, Mark, sometimes this gets kind of out of control a little bit. There's a lot of fun on here, too. A lot of back and forth.
All good.
Mark, if somebody's never been to Zellwood before, how would you describe it? Let's say, what would you say to a puller that, I'm not sure if I want to go to Florida and go pulling? What would you tell them?
Well, last year we had, I've covered some ground in pulling in Florida. I really have. And I would say that last year we had the best track I've ever been on in Florida at Zellwood last year.
Awesome.
It was pretty, but it did a super, super job working that track. And first time I went to Florida, the Florida tracks are deceiving. The first time I ever went down there with my classic mod, I looked at that. I believe it was Ocala. I looked at that sandy track and went, oh my gosh, this is pulling on the beach. And hung every single movable weight I had on the back end of that tractor and looked straight down the exhaust. It's kind of deceiving. Those tracks take more horsepower than what they look. A lot different deal than what we're used to up here in the Midwest. But yeah, last year Zellwood just had a tremendous track. Both nights,
awesome.
Friday.
Yep. Whenever I want to watch a fun video, I just click on this right here.
Got started a little late this afternoon.
The video of Mark again driving his 3-engine modified there last year because it's just really awesome, and I like watching tractor pull.
Got started a little late this afternoon because a little bit of rain and just getting started. Tomorrow we'll go. Nice thing, we got everything going, everybody in place. We appreciate you guys coming out spending your Friday evening with us. Let's watch Mark Miller and Mr. Twister. Looking at that distance of 339.71, put down by Don Dean and Plumber's 9 there.
What's it like driving one of those, Mark?
It's the 300-foot mark comes up fast.
Yeah, I bet it does. I bet it does.
It's a rush. It's a rush. I kind of have a hard time watching the tractor on that. We had heard an engine at Bowling Green, and we have to, one of the Ford rotation engines. We got reverse rotation engines on the back. We had trouble getting parts, so we set it up as a 7,500-pound mod to run down in Florida, and had the 2 engines in the back and 1 offset in the front, because we run 4 engines typically in Grand National. But Scott assured me it would work with 1 engine hanging off the front like that. It did seem to work pretty well. So
well, I agree.
It looks goofy. I have a hard time looking at it. We're going to have that fit here.
Yeah. If anybody has any questions for Mark Boyer, driver of Mr. Twister, or John and Brandon and Rob, just please type them in the comments. I want to wrap this up in about 5 minutes, guys. I got date night with my wife because I'm flying out to Raleigh in the morning for North Carolina State Fair. Let's see here. Colby Hall says Rob likes chocolate. That's that inside stuff. You guys need to have your own private chat.
Right.
Terry Fowler's joining on YouTube, says awesome. Thanks for sharing. He's watching in Fulton, Mississippi. And then Nicholas says last year was awesome. Yep. Pulls was badass. Kids had fun seeing all the tractors and trucks. Yeah, it's a great time. Zellwood, again, the Super Bowl January 12th and 13th is right across the top of your screen. If you can't read that, you probably shouldn't be on Facebook or YouTube. I'm just telling you. That's a heads up from Jason here. Gotta be careful. If you're drinking already, God bless you. Just quit driving. Don't drive tonight. So
I might add that
go ahead, Mark.
You might notice that I really enjoy hunting.
Yeah, I did notice that.
When I make the trip down to Florida, I always try to take in a hog hunt while I'm down there pulling. So I really enjoy doing that. If somebody's interested in that, I would highly recommend that. It's a lot of fun.
Yep. Chris Hall says count us in for January. Tim Henry Sr. says can't wait till January. So, John, I know we got four of the big classes, if you will. I don't mean to, say anything's not big, but 4 of the classes that I normally see on every weekend. You have 4 of the classes picked so far. Can you kind of talk about those a little bit?
Yeah, we've got the blown mini rods picked out, the blown 2-wheel drives, March class, which is the light mod 7,500-pound class, and then a super farm class. And we're got to kick around and try and find 1 more class. We want to try and have 5 classes this year.
Yep.
For the big modified show.
Again, there'll be 2 tracks, everybody. So there's a track, there are 2 tracks of action. It's a lot of fun to watch. So, Jared, is Jared the one with the power wheels, John, that's been messaging you?
I'm not 100% positive. I'd have to look at my phone to see.
So, Jared, if you have the power wheel set up, please send a message to FL Pullers or text John, please, and so we can get that figured out. Because I think that'd be kind of fun. So.
Yeah, I think it'd be fun too for the kids.
Why did you move the date, John and Rob?
Well, we moved it for a few reasons. We were on top of another pull that we didn't want to be on top of.
Okay.
And we've always kind of been one of the first ones out every year. We moved our dates back the last couple of years, trying to stay close with Ocala for the modified tractors and stuff like that to come down so that they could stay together.
Yep.
And not have a big gap in between.
Gotcha. No, because I know a lot of guys, gals bring their vehicles down, and then they might do Disney for a week, then they fly home, and then they can come back down and leave the rigs down here, and that works out pretty good for everybody.
Right.
Yeah, they need to leave their stuff down here. We have facilities it's safe. They can leave their rigs and everything, and nothing will happen to it. It'll be all safe and sound. They can lock it up. We have a couple different places we can keep stuff at. No big deal.
Yeah. Yeah, we know it's on top of Shipshewana now, Greg. I know Greg well. He's from up in my neck of the woods, and it's hard to pick a date. They have to focus on the Florida stuff, guys. I mean, more important what's going on with the Midwest. But we do know that hurts maybe some of the minis, especially like the Kano class and things like that possibly could come down and pull in Florida. But this makes sense for Zellwood based upon what goes on in Florida. I mean, a lot of thought went into this. I can promise you that from a promoter standpoint of why they did this with their dates. So it makes a lot of sense in the state of Florida. So, but they do know that Shipshewana is going on. I mean, I'm splitting my team up too. Half of us are going to Florida and half of us are going to Shipshewana. I'm going to be going down to Florida. It'll be the first time I missed Shipshewana in a long time. So it's all good.
I feel privileged.
No, it's all good. We're friends. We're in this together. Light limited turbo class, I'll answer that. Roy, we just didn't get any numbers the last year. So I guess you guys would really have to get John and Rob a solid 6 to 10 for them to even consider putting that class in there. But I'm not saying it can't be done because they've been kicking around the different ideas for the smoker classes. Because again, we're still really kind of starting to get things going. But if you're serious about that, Roy, and you can get some guys going and get common set of rules, those two guys on the screen over there, John and Rob, get a hold of them and they'll help you out with that. That was Jared that messaged you, John. So that's your in there. That's good. What will the motorcycle garden tractor weight class be? I have no idea how to answer that one.
Well,
The mini rod, the motor.
the outlaw class.
Yeah.
No, it's we have the 1550 and the 2050.
Okay.
The garden motorcycle motor ones?
Yeah, we have the outlaw class in both weight classes.
David Eisentrout says one of the best tracks I've pulled on in my 12 years. Lots of fun, and the track personnel and the locals are very wonderful to work with. Thank you, David. That's nice to hear. We love compliments, but we also want to know what we need to get better at. So, but mostly we love compliments. I'm just going to be honest. Are we doing a 4x4 class? You know what? We just can't get any good numbers. I'll be honest with you guys. We've tried the last couple of years. Again, if you pullers want to have your class, you really need to rally. You got to get a group of people together to support it because nobody wants to put on a class for 1 or 2 vehicles. Just being completely honest. We'd love to have diesel trucks. We'd love to have gas trucks, big gas trucks, but we just have to have some commitment from you guys and
We're definitely going to have a pro stock 4-wheel drive class.
Yep.
Because we have locals running that. But diesel class, I know of a couple coming down. I'd like to have some more, but the problem is there's so many different, they change the turbo here, whatever, but a lot of them, they don't read our track right. So they don't understand that just because he's got a bigger turbo, you're going to pull pretty close on our track if you read it right. There's not enough to where we can split the class up.
Yep.
That's the problem.
And again, fans, there are 2 tracks. There'll be 2 sets of classes, and that's what, like the one class is what I'm going to say just for out of simplicity's sake, the national classes, like Mark's going to be pulling in national rules. And then Rob kind of puts some classes together for more of the local pullers and kind of mixes some stuff together. So we'll really dive into that here these next couple of weeks leading into this as they get things dialed in. But if you're watching this tonight and you want to pull in Zellwood, get a hold of these guys, John and Rob, or just message FL Pullers. We're live on YouTube and Facebook right now. If you don't know how to get a hold of them, just message us on Beer Money, and I'll get you John's number, and then we can talk through that and help the guys, make some decisions. But again, they need a solid list of names of pullers that are willing to come down and support that. And again, if you come down, like Rob said, leave your rig down here. They have places to park them, and then you can come down and go to future pulls in Florida, and you can really enjoy the winter pulling season, if you will. So,
yep. And anybody that's coming down that's got questions about rules, as far as the modified stuff, we're pretty much following PPL and NTPA rules on everything.
Yep.
On everything on the modified side.
John, they're going to put big block minis in. So, I mean, that's going to be one of their national classes. So this is the big, like the Chase Richardson, the Jeff Hurts, that bunch. Eric Harmison, we're going to work on some of those guys, get them to come down. So there will be a big block mini class. So I promised Jeff Hurt, I saw him at the Underley, that track is not going to destroy his tires. So we're good to go. Nope. I said we dug it, got some water in it, and life was good. So I didn't do any of it. I just talk on the microphone. But the guys that know what they're doing, they did it.
But you did a great job doing that.
I was sicker than a dog last year, Rob. I'm hoping I drank a bottle of that cough syrup. I guess you're not supposed to do that in one day, but I made it through the day.
Who said that?
My doctor said that's bad on it's hard on my kidneys or liver or something. I forget.
Get another doctor.
Yep. I know they're going to have a big blown class. I would assume there's going to be a naturally aspirated class as well. I feel like there is every year.
Yep.
Snake kind of takes care of the mini rod classes. So I'm sure Snake's sitting in his garage right now and enjoy. Yeah, he's been commenting on the show tonight. So, yeah. Good deal.
Yeah, if we have enough big block mini rods, we'll do a big block class.
Okay.
But, if only 1 or 2 show up, we're going to just run them with the big tire, small tire, whatever tire size they run.
Yep.
And at least let them pull, but you got to have more than just one or two to make a class.
Yeah. Mark, who do you think will come down for the for your class, the big mods?
I assume Don Dean will be there for sure. He seems to be everywhere all the time.
Yep.
I assume Shanaman will be back. And I believe that we'll get a few others. I haven't heard of anybody else committed, but I think we got some attention last year, so they'll make the trip. I don't have names at this point, but I've had some people inquire about it through last summer.
Good. That's good to hear. That is good to hear. So,
and if you hear of anybody, Mark, shoot me a text. Let me know if they're coming.
Yep, absolutely. One other thing I'd like to say, hospitality down there. You folks are great. Really appreciate you, and felt like we were treated really, really well. And it's just simply a lot of fun. It was a laid back weekend of pulling, and I really enjoy it.
Good. Glad to hear that.
My favorite thing about Zellwood, you literally see freaking everything from remote control pullers up to 3-engine modifieds like yours, Mark. I mean, it's fun for me as a fan, because I don't get to see all of that in one spot. Like, it is a legit, like, where does the super come from? That's what makes it a super pull. I mean, you see everything from garden tractors to minis. They pull garden tractors during the day and some of the smaller mini rods during the day. And then the big stuff like Mr. Twister at night, semi trucks and whatever. It's awesome. It's a great facility, and they really work hard. This venue, if you're unfamiliar with this venue, they have like 8-9 pulls a year. I mean, and they have a club that keeps it active, and they're always out there doing stuff. So this isn't just, we're going to have a pull once a year deal. This is legit. They keep those grounds up, and they're working on it all the time. So
yeah, we usually have a pull once a month. We have one coming up the 4th of November, just a regular club pull there at Zellwood.
Yep. My wife is dying to go to the Super Bowl. How do I purchase tickets? Andre, just come to the gate.
Show up at the gate.
Yeah, we have not. I hope we get to a point someday where we have to pre-sell tickets, but right now we're not there yet. But the line on the road last year on Saturday night was awesome. I went up and got some pictures with my phone. That was fun to see. That place was packed Saturday night last year. It was good.
Yeah, I think it was about a mile each direction from what I heard.
Yep. So life is good. So speaking of wives, I need to go have supper with mine, guys. Mark, thank you for joining us tonight. We appreciate your support of the Zellwood Super Bowl. We appreciate you just as you're crazy enough to drive a multi-engine modified. You guys are you guys eat at the different buffet. You mini rod guys. That's all I'm going to say.
It's all right. I like eating at that buffet.
Yeah, I do. I like watching that buffet, but I just don't want to partake in it. So, no, it's a lot of fun. So, John, Rob, Brandon, we'll be staying in touch. We're going to try to do this weekly to get caught up. Or not to get caught, just keep everybody going, keep everybody up to date. We want input from the fans. If you want to see some things, we'd also love your help gathering local sponsors, national sponsors. Zellwood's teamed up with the Beer Money Polling Team. We have one of the largest audiences on social media in the world of truck and tractor pulling for the podcasts and all that we do. So if you partner up with Zellwood, you're gonna get some exposure. And then shout out again to Matt Kane. He's donating some compressors. Again, it doesn't have to be cash. It can be anything. We're gonna sell some raffle tickets for this, and this would be another fundraiser as well. So whether you want to come in with some cash, want to come in with some prizes, get a hold of John, get a hold of Rob, and we'll make it happen. And then we'll try to send some business back your way. So, absolutely. John, anything else, buddy?
No, I think we pretty much covered it for tonight.
Awesome.
We did change one thing this year for Super Bowl.
Okay.
Spectators fee went up $5. It's $20 a person to get in this year.
Okay.
So we did change that.
Still a deal. It's still a deal.
Yes,
I mean,
it is.
If you do the math, we always go about 4 hours minimum. I mean, $5 an hour to watch this kind of entertainment. You'd be crazy not to do this, especially in the state of Florida where it's not as prevalent. As Mark and I see in Indiana and Wisconsin or Iowa, we can throw a stone every couple of days and go to a big truck and tractor pull. It's not the same in Florida. That's what makes it fun. So
yeah, but they can get there early and watch the antiques, the garden tractors pull. Their kids can actually participate in garden tractor pulling and go on into the night. They can spend all day there for the same price.
Yep. No, I love it. I absolutely love it. So, well, Mark, thank you for your time. John, Brandon, Rob, appreciate you guys, and we'll be in touch soon. Again, if you have any questions, just send them to FL Puller's Facebook page or send them to Beer Money. We'll get them over to John and Rob, and let's make this the best Zellwood Super Bowl ever. Thanks for watching. Have a good night.
Thank you guys.